Kia ora, tonight on City News. City Ride Rotorua hit a milestone today with the millionth passenger taking a ride on the service. The world's first year-round gondola access mountain bike park has officially opened at Skyline Rotorua, and public workshops are planned to canvass community opinion on how an inner-city cycleway will work. City Ride Rotorua hit a milestone today with the millionth passenger taking a ride on the service. Today also marks the Rotorua City Ride buses going totally accessible and wheelchair friendly. Bay of Plenty Regional Councillor Lyle Thurston says it's a great day for local public transport.
Yes, it's one of the many initiatives of the Bay of Plenty Regional Council, and we're delighted to be supporting and leading the way with public transport in our area. The other good news is today, Monday, we've actually hit 1 million passengers for Rotorua, so we're really thrilled with the patronage that's been going on. In fact, 60,000 more people in the last 12 months have used public transport in Rotorua, as you see behind us here today.
There's also something special about these buses?
Well, something very special to me, because as you know, I've championed the rights of disabled people now for many, many years, and one of the great challenges has always been to have accessible public transport, and effective today, Monday, we can let the balloons go up because we have, for the first time in Rotorua, a fully accessible public transport service in terms of our buses. So great day for disabled people, and don't lose sight of the fact 1 in 5 people in Rotorua identify with a disability that impacts on their life. So this is going to have a major impact on those people in Rotorua who do identify with a disability.
And Councillor Thurston says there are plans for a new city bus terminal. We have more on that later in the show. The world's first year-round gondola access mountain bike park has officially opened at Skyline Rotorua.
Skyline Rotorua Mountain Bike Gravity Park officially opened on Friday the 8th of August 2014 by the Honourable Todd McClay MP, Associate Minister of Tourism.
It has been around 2 years in the making, and we're just so lucky that Rotorua's got such talent with regards to mountain bike development, planning and building, you know, and we've worked with some of the best, I think, in the world, with Tuck Multi-Day Adventures and Adam and Chris from Empire of Dirt.
What's that going to mean in terms of your business and being able to market this place internationally?
Well, we see this as a new niche. We're dedicating 1/3 of our capacity to mountain biking, so we do see that there's a big opportunity there. Obviously, the Redwoods has been the gem for New Zealand mountain biking, and we want to work alongside of that and provide a different offering, so that you do, if you want to do just downhill, you do this, and then tomorrow you're going to do the Redwoods, or vice versa. So it was just a nice natural fit. We're in the business of getting people downhill via either a luge or a zip line or a sky swing, so on 2 wheels on a mountain bike it just made sense.
And mountain biking and cycling in general is a focus area of growth for the future of the inner city. District Councillor and Inner City Portfolio Lead Karen Hunt says workshops are to be held in the near future to canvass opinion on how an inner city cycleway will work.
And as you can see, we're sitting on one of the newest pieces of art, functional artwork, in this intersection at the moment.
Well, let's talk about this, because it's obviously not a seat, even though we're sitting on it. But it's a bike stand. Unusual story.
It is an unusual story. The original bike stand, we've got one of these out at the forest. It's much rougher in the Waipā car park, but it was a fallen tree in a council reserve, and we knew these intersections need some sort of bike rack, because we're going to be putting the bike cycle lanes throughout the city. And so this was given to Orca Engineering to fashion. Now that's a local marine and manufacturing company, and they have done this as a donation. So they got delivered the piece of wood, the log that was fallen in a council reserve. They have put fantastic fish on it, which you can see down there. And this is a great collaboration between community and businesses who are showing they care in a very visible and, in this case, substantial manner.
In sport tonight, Bay of Plenty canoe sprint champion Lisa Carrington has cemented her place at the top of the world, winning her K1 200 final, taking gold in her specialist event at the ICF Canoe Sprint World Championships for the 3rd time. The 25-year-old also took silver in the K1 500. Looks good for Lisa, who's on track to defend her Olympic gold in Rio in 2016. To your weather update now. Tonight there'll be rain with northwesterlies and an overnight low of 8. For tomorrow, Tuesday, morning rain and then a few showers, northwesterlies, a high of 12 and a low of 1. And the outlook for Wednesday, morning showers with fine spells, southwest freshening, a high of 11 and a low of 2. And the marine forecast for tomorrow, easing to westerly 15 knots during the morning, with waves about half a metre or less. Poor visibility in rain, easing to a few showers. Remember, for program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tv.rotorua.co.nz, and you can see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Still to come in the show tonight, Kitty Danielle catches up with Regional Councillor Lyle Thurston, and we take a look at the furniture rental market.
Well, I'm here with Lyle Thurston. Now, Lyle, you've been in charge of the buses in Rotorua, haven't you, amongst many other things?
Yes, it's one of the many initiatives of the Bay of Plenty Regional Council, and we're delighted to be supporting and leading the way with public transport in our area.
And it's really timely, isn't it? Because our environment is so important. Getting people out of all of their cars and using the public transport is a really big step.
It is indeed, and the other good news is today, Monday, we've actually hit 1 million passengers for Rotorua, so we're really thrilled with the patronage that's been going on. In fact, 60,000 more people in the last 12 months have used public transport in Rotorua, as you see behind us here today.
That's brilliant. What's the secret been?
I think there's been promotion, and I think it's the timetables, and also much greater access for people in terms of where the stops are. It's an ongoing review. We're currently having an extensive review being undertaken in conjunction, in consultation with the Rotorua District Council, but out of that will become much greater improved services for the people in this area.
And speaking of improved services, there's also something special about these buses.
Well, something very special to me, because as you know, I've championed the rights of disabled people now for many, many years, and one of the great challenges has always been to have accessible public transport, and effective today, Monday, we can let the balloons go up, because we have, for the first time in Rotorua, a fully accessible public transport service in terms of our buses. So great day for disabled people, and don't lose sight of the fact 1 in 5 people in Rotorua identify with a disability that impacts on their life. So this is going to have a major impact on those people in Rotorua who do identify with a disability.
Is it a personal victory for you as well?
Most definitely, because I was the National President of CCS Disability Action for many, many years. Of course, I have a son who's in a wheelchair, so this is all pretty close to me, and it's quite an emotional day today, Monday, having an accessible bus fleet here in Rotorua.
What does your son think of it?
Well, he does. He doesn't use a lot of public transport because he has a little hand-controlled car, but as we travel around, it's great to know in other metropolitans, both here and overseas, that most cities are embracing fully accessible bus services for people with disabilities. Great day, great day, great day for Rotorua.
And that's something we need to celebrate, isn't it? All of the accomplishments.
It is indeed.
And the hard work that went into. How long have you been trying to push for this?
Sometimes it feels like a lifetime, but we got there because New Zealand signs up to the rights of disabled people through the United Nations, and likewise the disability strategy. So it's a great day for disabled people. Great day.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit more about some of the other features with the buses. You mentioned the routes, the fees and everything. Could you just give us a kind of general snapshot of where it's at the moment?
Well, we have 10 routes, of course, in Rotorua, and they go right out in the west to Nongataha and out to the airport, out east. They're continually under review. There's a bit of tweaking going on, which some people will notice today, Monday, with regards timetables. Some buses are leaving a little bit earlier, some are leaving a little bit later. A lot of this will be to dovetail in with the services up to the Wairiki Institute of Technology, which is a major user of public transport, as we know. So there's an ongoing review being taken And we're pretty positive that out of that's going to become a real superb public transport service is going to be available for Rotorua. We've also, as part of that review, looking and working with the Rotorua District Council as to where the most appropriate place is for the centre bus stop. So a lot happening in coming months, but all for the better.
So tell us a little bit about your personal passion.
I've always had a very firm commitment to the disability sector. It comes about through a lived experience, having a son with a congenital birth defect, and we as a family have made a commitment to the sector over many, many years. But I qualify that by saying I will never speak for a disabled person, but I'll certainly help and promote them and ensure that their rights are heard. And I think what's happening in Rotorua today with a fully accessible bus fleet goes a huge way to empowering disabled people here in our community. And for the visitors too, because I know when you travel overseas, when you have someone with a disability travelling with you, one of the first things you check out is how accessible that particular city is in terms of public transport. So this is another flag for Rotorua to wave today. Great day. Great day.
Thank you so much for your time.
Great talking to you as always.
Kia ora.
Have a great day.
Well, if you're keen to win yourself some groceries over the next 6 weeks, you need to come down here to meet Craig Redpath. He is the manager of Mr. Rental. So we're going to head inside and find out a little bit more about this competition. Hi Craig, welcome to City News. Now, one of the things I like about our city here in Rotorua is there's lots of businesses out there that like to sponsor and donate things towards the community. But here at Mr. Rental, you guys are doing something a little bit different for our community. So explain for our viewers at home what Hip Pocket Hero is all about.
Yeah, it's a new promotion. We're just conscious that food prices and the cost of living is just increasing, and we want to give something back to the community. So we've come up with this initiative, which is just a Hip Pocket Hero, in which we'll give away $1,000 every week for the next 6 weeks to one of our lucky customers, one of our lucky new customers. And once you're in the draw, you're in for all 6 weeks. So if you're in the first week, you're in for the second and right through to the 6th week.
Wow, so is that just here in Rotorua?
It's New Zealand wide, so because each of the franchises are independent, so we all contribute to making this all happen.
Yeah, so $1,000 worth of groceries, that could be a big help to a struggling family out there.
Yeah, I think it will be, and it's one of these things that we're trying to get more integrated with the community and helping the community out. So yeah, we're pleased with the promotion, and hopefully it'll be successful.
You mentioned that the food prices have skyrocketed and they've gone up so many percent. Even just this year, groceries have gone up quite a lot. So again, it's a great way to help the community.
Yeah, and as I say, we're all conscious, and it affects everybody, me, everybody, all our customers. So we think it's a good promotion at the right time to really help people out.
What sort of products do people hire when they come through the doors?
A lot of people go for the basics, which is basically fridge, freezers, washing machines, and at this time of year, dryers, dehumidifiers, and heaters. And our models change slightly, so there is only a commitment for 4 months to get on our indefinite term rental agreements. So there's a very, very nominal commitment from the customers, but they get all the benefits of rental. So no service, they can upgrade any time, and it helps them get to where they want to go, which is what we're at.
There are a couple of advantages of people hiring whiteware and TVs and things like that, but is there other benefits as opposed to buying the products outright?
Oh yeah, because you can upgrade, because the changing technology is happening so quickly these days that by renting, you see, there's no commitment, there's no big financial commitment to buy the goods, because once you've got them, you've got them. With Mr. Rental, once you've got them, you can upgrade them, like for computers, every year, every 6 months. It's how you want to change and how you want to keep up with technology. And similarly, whiteware these days, it doesn't last as long as it used to be perfectly honest. And keeping up with these changes, it's a big expense for most families to keep up with these things. And they are necessities, a fridge, freezer, a washing machine, a dryer. So we can help with that. And because there's no servicing costs, if it breaks down, we'll fix it or replace it. usually within 24 hours. So
Wow, that's pretty good service, isn't it?
Well, we try our best. Sometimes we've got limitations, but we try our best to maintain that 24-hour service period.
Yeah. What about rent to own and things like that?
We don't do rent to own. It's purely rental because we service everything and there's very little commitment. Like I said, there's only up to 4 months commitment to go on the indefinite period rental agreements. So we don't do rent to own. But by renting, it helps people because, like I say, changing family conditions, your family increases, you need a bigger fridge freezer. You just phone us up, we change the rental rate, and we deliver a bigger fridge freezer. Your family leaves home, you downsize, so you can downsize. So we're trying to work with the customer to change with their environment and their circumstances.
What if someone is moving house? Would you guys come along and move the whiteware, for example, for them?
Yes, if they give us, as long as we get notice, we can be there and we can help to move our stuff from one location to another, and that's part of the service. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be too keen to move a big TV if I rented it in case I dropped it.
Well, exactly, and our staff are trained on lifting and laying, so it's a case of always give us a call, and if we can be there, we'll be there, and we'll move the stuff forward.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to come in to hire something from you, because you've moved from Emma Street, haven't you?
Yeah, we moved just over a year ago to a new location at 1214 Pukawato Street, and we've got a bigger showroom, and it's much more central located, so we welcome everybody to come in, have a look, and see some of the goods that we have on offer.
And hopefully win this $1,000 worth of groceries.
Absolutely, yeah, it'd be really good if a few local winners were there, and of course the earlier people join us, with more chances to have of winning.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Craig, appreciate your time.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well, I'm standing in front of two of our biggest economic earners, tourism in the form of mountain biking and wood, lots and lots of wood. Now, Dave Donaldson as an individual and as our Deputy Mayor has a vested interest in both of these, and he'll explain more. Hi Dave, good to have you on City News today. Now, last time we caught up with you, you were out at Waipa on your bike, so a little bit different setting today down at the council buildings.
Sure.
One of the things we want to talk about is obviously your portfolios, and economic development is probably your main one. So let's just talk about that just briefly before we get into the Wood First policy. So with this economic development policy, it's huge. So how do you get your head around it?
It is a big portfolio. At the local government conference last 2 weeks ago, economic growth and jobs were identified by 84% of mayors surveyed across New Zealand as the number one concern they had as issues confronting them as a council. So it is a big job. What we're currently trying to do is get the support in place for the portfolio strategy lead, and that has been, part of the restructure of the organisation of council. So we don't yet have a person in the position of economic growth portfolio support lead. What we do have as a council is we have a CCO called Grow Rotorua Limited, whose task over 3 years, and they've only got 10 months of that to run, was to implement the sustainable economic growth strategy developed by the previous council. So the future of the interface between the economic growth portfolio lead and the CCO Grow Rotorua Limited and our new business unit, which is Rotorua Tourism Events, Eyesight and Venues, still has to be nutted out. So we're still in that process of, framing a structure to develop our economic growth. Meanwhile, Grow Rotorua are developing up projects that are coming through their work. Now, Grow Rotorua has 2 staff and a board of directors who have overseen their implementation of that strategy in years gone by. So it's taking a fresh look at how we move forward in this space.
Well, let's talk a bit more about Grow Rotorua. What's going to happen at the end of that 10 months when the contract's up?
Well, that question is currently being asked. So that's a discussion we need to have, and that'll be a decision of council as the shareholders of Grow Rotorua council-controlled organisation.
Well, from media reports and what we're seeing with different tourists coming to town, especially from Auckland, it's obviously been a successful campaign.
Yes, I believe they've got some runs on the board and some exciting projects in the pipeline. So it's how do we keep that momentum going? How do we make sure it's a seamless transition to a new way of working? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this Wood First policy, because that seems quite exciting, especially if it's entwined with the Rotorua 2030 vision. So let's just talk about that for a moment.
Yeah. So the Wood First policy acknowledges Rotorua is at the heart of forestry, has historically been at the development of the commercial forest industry in New Zealand, and that we want to maintain that central position in relation to that industry, but also develop the economic opportunities around wood and forestry and value added end product from forestry.
Now, one of the stats is that there's 11 million cubic metres of wood that leaves Rotorua, while the surrounding forestry. That's a huge amount of wood, isn't it, really? What does that look like in real terms? Yeah, well, it looks like a pile of logs on wharves, at the Port of Tauranga. And that is not adding value to our economy as much as potentially we could capture a whole lot more value if we were to process that wood locally and then ship it and capture that value for our economy rather than shipping raw logs overseas. Do you think overseas companies in overseas countries would be interested in purchasing processed wood here from New Zealand?
I think they would if we can do it, economically. If we can produce the end product of a quality and at a cost that's competitive, then absolutely.
How would this Wood First policy help Tachikawa employees or ex-employees?
Well, potentially ex-employees could be could realise opportunities and jobs because processing locally means we have more jobs in the industry locally. How it would have helped Tachikawa historically had we had it in place. Each company, it's down to their own business model, and privately I've had conversations with people in the industry about why Tachikawa fell over, and I guess it comes down to the business model of an individual company. There are some very successful companies out there in the timber market, and they have quite a different business model to the model that Tachikawa had, is my understanding of it. What I think the big opportunity for us is collaboration. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of discussion going on in the local government space about regional collaboration. The amalgamation reorganisation issue keeps coming up. We like to think that our view as a council is that we'll focus on local decisions being made by local people, so retain our own local identity in terms of council decision making, but that there are lots of opportunities for collaboration in a number of areas, and Wood First is one of those areas. So with Kauro, Taupo, both centres of significant forestry activity, we think that if our Wood First policy was to spread and grow wider, that there's a lot of opportunities for collaboration.
Dave Donaldson, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
That was District Councillor and Deputy Mayor Dave Donaldson. If you have news to share with us, give the station a call on 07 3488 984, or you can email news@tv.rotorua.co.nz, and to watch the show again, visit our website and click on latest news. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, for Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand.